Of course, I have to ask you about the Hannitys and the Glenn Becks.
Right.
Do you feel like I do that they're somehow, with their rhetoric, undermining our ability to remain a superpower?
I think they're undermining our ability to remain a cohesive nation, and I've said this on the air. What these multi-millionaire right-wing neo-Nazi radio and television people, O'Reilly and Hannity and Beck and all the rest of these people, they're doing this for sport. They're also wealthy. They're above the fray. They can float on their magic carpets above all the crap that they cause down here. They are a threat to representative democracy. I mean, anybody who doesn't believe that, just take a look at how, when was it, last summer, or summer before last, when Limbaugh was calling for 1968 Chicago-style riots at the Democratic Convention or Republican, whatever it was, in Denver. Look at the way Beck talks to people about death panels, and the way Hannity parrots whatever Limbaugh says. And yeah, they're a threat to democracy. These people, these right-wing talk show hosts that are employed for very specific function, their function is like in the old neighborhood where you had a bunch of little shopkeepers, and one day some big burly guy comes in. I hate to stereotype, but usually his last name ended in a vowel, and he'd walk in and he'd say, "Yo, nice plate glass windows you have out here in front of your dry cleaners." The guy'd say, "Yeah." And the gunzel would say, "You don't want these big windows broken. Man, it'll cost a lot of money to get them fixed. Tell you what, for $100 a week, my friends and I'll make sure your windows don't get broken." Well, if the guy refused, the next morning his windows were broken. So what would he do? I mean, it was a protection racket. So he would sign up. That's what Hannity and Beck and Limbaugh, they run a protection racket for corporate America. And the way they run it, they say to corporate America, "Look, we have these vast audiences. We could be attacking you, but here's what we'll do. We will keep these dumbasses, this American public, so confused and so at each other's throats that they won't notice how you're fucking them, how you're taking advantage of them, how you're denying them health care, you're poisoning their water, you're polluting their air, you're sending them off to fight wars that we have no business being in because we're not fighting for freedom or democracy or mom or cherry pie anymore. We're fighting for corporate America so that they can get their talons in there and get the oil or the gas or the natural gas or whatever the hell it is they're going after, or so we can encircle China or surround Iran." None of this has to do with freedom and justice and glory and guts and God, and has everything to do with the goals, the aims of corporate America. So that's what the Limbaughs and Hannitys are doing. These guys are like, I don't know, they're like pimps, and what they're pimping is just absolute lies.
Right.
And corporate America pays them a lot of money to pimp those lies to the American public, and the American public, surrounded by this stuff 24/7. I mean, you cannot. I don't care if you're in East Elbow, Arkansas, or Midtown Manhattan. You cannot escape.
You can't get away
right-wing talk radio.
Yeah.
There's no place in this country that you can escape right-wing talk radio. But I defy you to find liberal or progressive talk radio. You're going to have to really make an effort to do it. So when you have wall-to-wall, 24/7, what is essentially anti-American propaganda being put out by these right-wing radio and television talk show hosts, when you have that happening, you're going to wind up with a population that can't find its ass with both hands and has decided, well, it's the queers' fault. No, it's the Negroes' fault. No, it's the liberals' fault. No, it's the Jews' fault. No, it's the Muslims' fault. And they keep doing this and doing this and doing this. So I see these guys as a threat. They are like a death panel. You know, Sarah Palin talks about death panels. These bastards are the death panel, and that's all they propagandize all day long is the death of this country. They'd like to see this country destroyed and replaced with a kind of neo-feudalism where rights don't exist. You know, you get your ass up in the morning, you go to work, you go your ass home, and you take whatever money corporate America wants to give you, if they want to give you anything, and shut up. You know, one of the biggest insults to me is when, back during the Bush years, when they declared whenever he would appear, there would be First Amendment zones where people could hold their placards up and protest Bush. Give me a goddamn break. This entire country used to be a First Amendment zone.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
It's in the Constitution. What is this? Here's a First Amendment zone. Get your ass 3 miles away from this Nazi Bush, and you can hold up your sign. But when it's Obama, you see, all of a sudden,
it's
these
everywhere.
guys can show up with semi-automatic assault rifles and guns on their hips and signs that equate Barack Obama with a goddamn gorilla.
Right.
And a Bush rally, you showed up with a T-shirt that said, "I don't like Bush," and the Secret Service would run your ass out of the building and go question you for 6 hours to find out if you were a terrorist. Now, anybody who doesn't believe that these right-wing radio and television talk show hosts they're not paid the big money. They're paid because they have something cool to say, or they're interesting, or they're intellectual. These are thugs. These are street goddamn thugs, like Louis the Gunzel, who's going to come by your shop and say, "Hey, nice windows. You don't want them broke, do you?"